I made a post saying that if anybody could guess what the next video was on, they were basically a certified gamer. Nobody seemed to figure it out because that anime sticker threw him for a curveball, but Exceed apparently just made himself a certified gamer. That's a 1000 IQ move. Cheap video/video game Hong Kong capture device, baby. Is it worth it? Well, are you looking for one? Then I would have to say, maybe. Yeah, maybe. That's the kind of certainty you get on this channel. Back in my day, aka 2012, if you wanted to record video game gameplay, your options were pretty limited. First off, PC. If you were wanting to record on PC, you better hope you have a beefy one, aka I'm talking thousands of dollars, because that GPU is going to get ripped apart by a program capture device like Fraps, leaving you no room for quality or frame rate in your gameplay. But most notably, if you were trying to be a hashtag pro gamer trying to join the FaZe clan, make some epic video game montages, or do some kind of video game review stuff, well, I don't know what you're doing, dude. You're just trying to record some video game gameplay for your Let's Play channel, your option for good video capture was most likely just the HD PVR from Hapog. Later on down the road, it turned out to be less of a monopoly. You had multiple companies coming out, like I think there was AverMedia, then most notably Elgato. But there was something that all of these video game capture devices all had in common. They were extremely expensive. However, there was another set of options if you were wanting to get gameplay for a fraction of the price, and that would probably be something along the lines of recording your TV with a camera stacked up on a pile of books. Or most likely, if you had a computer that you could capture some gameplay with, you would go with something like an EasyCap or a Dazzle. These things only setting you back 20, 30, 40 bucks, but they were really bad quality. I mean, you're talking composite in the modern time. When you're trying to crush that 1080p or even 720p video signal into something like 240p and then display it on an HD display, it didn't look very good. Not to mention the frame rate just wasn't good, and you had all these interlacing and ghosting issues. I used one of these capture devices longer than I'd like to admit, aka 2013, and it never turned out for me.
Please take note of where this guy was too. That would have been like a double wallbang because I think it hit the metal material, but nope, can't hit.
I wonder why. So that brings us up to speed on capture devices, and that moves us on full circle to 2020, and in recent years, video game capture devices are still expensive. You see, my HD PVR2 that I finally got around to purchasing just is not reliable. The capture isn't good, the audio is glitchy, it just likes to randomly cut out my video signal. It served me well, more or less, over the years, but it's just time to retire it. And I was thinking my only option was going to be to shell out the money for an Elgato because I know they're high quality or whatnot, but those things are still like $180 to $200. And I was thinking I was inevitably just going to have to cough it up for some occasional gameplay that I do on console because most of my stuff is on PC. Which, by the way, you can get a fairly low-end PC and get great video game capture quality because video game capture, like in something with Shadowplay, has improved exponentially over the years and takes almost no performance hit to record gameplay. But we're talking about console gameplay here, obviously. And that's when I came across these things. Because, see, when you search that little Amazon search bar thing, you're going to be greeted with some cheap game capture options. We're talking 50 to 60 bucks, and from a price perspective, you're talking about almost a quarter of the price and you're still getting 1080p 60 FPS gameplay. There is no way these things are any good, right? Well, I started looking at some of the reviews and they really surprised me. A lot of them are really positive. The cheapest option I found was 50 bucks, and that was for 1080p 30 FPS gameplay. However, I wanted to splurge a little bit and get the 60 FPS. And look, dude, if you're trying to record any type of gameplay montage shooter stuff, just go ahead and splurge and get the 60 FPS. The editor will thank you later. Hashtag I spin right because my dad left. So the one I decided to go with ended up being $63.99 before taxes and shipping. It got here relatively fast, within a week, no weird overseas shipping, and now we're gonna take a look at it. First off, before we even look at this thing, I gotta put a disclaimer out here. Obviously, this is not a sponsored video. Nobody would dare sponsor this channel other than Exceed over on my Patreon, which you can also join too. No, no pressure, but I'm just gonna throw it out there because that's all I got, baby. You know, YouTube don't really pay nothing with the ads. Second thing you're gonna notice is this thing has 4K plastered on it, and it kind of pseudo advertises 4K capture, but come on, dude. I didn't expect to get 4K out of this thing. And if I was even worried about 4K gameplay, I would would just be recording straight off of my PC, let's be real. So first off, I have an HD PVR2 to compare this thing to. First impressions, this thing is small. This thing is significantly smaller than my HD PVR2. I'm talking something the size of a portable hard drive. And that's mainly due in its power source comes from the same thing that feeds the computer the video signal, the USB port. So you got the USB port on one side, and then you got the two HDMI ports on the other side. One for your console to go in, and one for your video signal to go out. Super simple. And I'm gonna be honest with you here, over on my channel, we like simple because most of the time, things aren't simple. Sometimes you just want something to work, and I was shockingly surprised that this thing just worked. Build quality honestly seems to be pretty decent. Bonus, there's also a headphone jack and a microphone jack included, which can be a big deal. If you've ever tried to capture gameplay on PS4 through a card, you would know that every time you plug an audio device into your headphone jack on your controller, it cuts the audio to the capture device. So it's like, if you want to use headphones, better hope you have a headphone jack on your TV or your monitor, or you're not getting gameplay audio if you're capturing with headphones on through your controller. Also, the setup on this thing is super simple. You just plug it in, it automatically installs the drivers, and you load up OBS, which if you're already capturing gameplay with it or you're streaming, you're probably already using this anyways. I personally wasn't, so I had to download OBS and set this up for the first time. Only took me a few minutes. And again, setup was super simple, and it didn't take any time at all to get that gameplay showing up on my monitor screen. Also, there's one more big bonus to this capture card that I'm going to mention in a minute, but I'm going to make you wait till the end. I'm not going to spoil that here. What do you think, I'm an idiot or something? You're probably just going to skip the video, aren't you? Yeah, I get it. That's fine. So let's talk about the gameplay now that we got the super simple setup process done. Well, you're looking at the gameplay capture here. Tell me how it looks. I'm not much of a pixel peeper, but I think it looks pretty sharp. In OBS, I'm using like a high quality video, medium file size preset. Most of this stuff is preset. I didn't really change or tweak any of the capture settings. This is just all directly out the device. Shooting for 1080p, 60 FPS when available, and I think it looks pretty good. I can't tell any difference between this and my PVR2 other than the fact that maybe this thing looks better. The resolution is sharp. The frames are consistent. The frame rate is really smooth, and the audio sounds great. Obviously, I haven't been using this capture device for a long time. I don't know how much of an issue longevity is going to be. But I don't care, dude, because this thing was 60 bucks. If this thing broke within the month of me using it right now, I could just return it on Amazon, no problem. And if this thing breaks like 6 months to a year from now, I'm not gonna sweat it, dude, because it's 60 bucks. Here's a little story real quick before we get into the last thing I want to mention about this card, which is fire. Back when I got my HD PVR2 brand new for the first time, I was super excited. And within the first year, the thing completely fried on me. So I had to contact support. Getting this thing shipped out was a pain in the ass. Waiting on another one to come back was a pain in the ass. And during that entire time, I couldn't capture any gameplay. Luckily, at the time, I wasn't doing this seriously or anything like I probably should have been. I wasted all of my time just playing Call of Duty, which I kind of regret, but that's neither here nor there. Point is, I was stuck without the ability to capture gameplay for a while, and this was on something that I just spent like almost 200 bucks on. I was pretty disappointed. Also, PS3 gameplay on the HD PVR2 was impossible because they give you this flimsy little proprietary component cord thing that you gotta hook up to it. So already it's forcing you to use component cables, which I don't have right now. Okay, I might have them in a bin somewhere, but obviously it's convoluted and a pain in the ass if I wanted to set up PS3 gameplay capture right now with component cables, because the PS3 has this weird HDCP protection that doesn't allow you to capture gameplay unless you're using some kind of bypass box for it. And maybe you can see where I'm going with this. And if you can't, well, then that kind of just ruined the little lead I had here onto the final point of the video. There's no real good segue here. The point is, this thing bypasses HDCP protection, meaning you can record copyrighted material with this thing. Oh yeah, that sounds real bad. This video is gonna get demonetized now. Sweet. Look, dude, disclaimer here. I'm not telling you to go try to record anything that you shouldn't be and then share it to people that you shouldn't be sharing it with. The point is, this thing just allows you to plug and play HDMI gameplay with your PS3, no problem, no bypass, no weird setup. It just works. A way I tested this was trying to record my YouTube channel from the YouTube app on the PS4. Something that you normally wouldn't be able to do, but thanks to this capture device, it just lets me boot right into it, no problem. Oh, you wanted to record record some gameplay while you listen to Spotify in the background, sucks for you because you gotta have HDCP protection turned on for that. What's that? No company on this capture device forcing HDCP protection? Okay, cool, I'm gonna go record some PS3 gameplay now. I'm so excited because I've had this PS3 on the back of my shelf collecting dust for years now. When I say years, I kind of just mean a couple of years, but still, I got a really good deal on this backwards compatible PS3 and I haven't been able to do anything with it because I couldn't capture the gameplay, and now I can, and I'm super hyped. That's PS1, PS2, PS3 gameplay easy. And this is what makes me give this capture device the ultimate recommendation, because I'm pretty sure that with the Elgato HD6CS, like one of the best capture devices you can get on the market now for like almost 200 bucks, you can't capture PS3 gameplay out of the box with it. You gotta go out of your way to buy an HDCP bypass box to unencrypt the HDMI signal, whatever that means. But yeah, here we are, haha, $64 game capture device, go brr. You're telling me I'm getting, from what I can see, the same video quality with no filter. Yeah, I think I'm gonna buy this one, guys. I'm so hype about this thing and I can't wait to capture more with it. If you're looking for some sick PS3 gameplay, expect it soon. If you want to see some video game retrospective review type of stuff, go check out my channel because it's sick, I promise. But with all that being said, there's one more disclaimer I gotta put out there about this game capture device. This is one of those Chinese products that's made and produced by like a million different companies, and you can find it under a bunch of different brand names being sold by a bunch of different people, so the quality control and the consistency of the quality of the product that you're getting can vary a little bit, so I can't comment on the longevity of this thing. But like I said, dude, it's like 60 bucks. You're not losing a whole lot. It's not a big financial investment. If it breaks, you can replace it. If it breaks within a month, you can return it, most likely. And with it just allowing unfiltered, unencrypted HDCP protection recording, I can't help but recommend this thing over anything else you could buy. But with all that being said, I just wanted to share this sick, neat little cheap capture device with you guys. I think it's awesome, and it's just cool to see how far technology has came. I would have killed to have something like this 10 years ago, back when I couldn't really afford a game capture card. And now this thing is just super obtainable to everybody. So yeah, if you're on the fence about one of these, I think it's a safe buy. Just look at the reviews before you buy it from a seller. Also, go check out my other videos, maybe drop a subscribe, and yeah, that's all I got. Later, guys. Alright guys, as I'm wrapping this video up, I have to give another quick shout out to Wondershare Recover It, because without this program, I would not have been able to do this video as you see it now. I was working for 9 hours straight on this video when all of a sudden my hard drive just decided to corrupt all the data, and if it wasn't for this program, I wouldn't have been able to recover all of the files. You may have noticed a few audio and visual glitches, not really much at all luckily, but that was because I lost all of my progress, and because of this program, I was able to recover almost everything in full and get this video back on track. So yeah, everything that you saw from this video was recovered from lost data on my hard drive. Again, not sponsored or anything, but I just felt like I had to morally give a shout out to this company for the great job that this program did recovering my data. Alright, let's roll the outtakes and hopefully I'll see you guys on the next one. I'm stuck under my desk and this is really hard to record. You motherfucker. You served me well, you piece of shit.
これまでと同じことだよ。言っていることはわかるな、ホーリー軍曹。飴と鞭だ。お任せください。今日は新人。
Dude, no lie, this is actually my favorite anime.